Oh, hey, Facebook. What's happening? It's maybe 11:15 on Thursday morning. I'm down in Orange County, California, in the midst of my favorite weather, period. Like my favorite weather. If I had to pick one type of weather, it's like 78, 80, 22, 23 for my Canadian friends and for everyone in Europe. And basically everyone except in the United States of America. Everyone all around the world. If I was going to pick my favorite weather, I would pick 22, 23 in the afternoon, but like a marine layer in the morning so that you can put on a hoodie or you can put on, I don't know, sweatshirt, long sleeve t-shirt, you name it. So, doing this live chat today for a couple of reasons. One, trouble with connection. Okay, whatever. One, I wanted to use some of the new features on here. Two, I wanted to let everyone know that there's not going to be a new podcast today because, again, Drew and I are switching over our platform to a lovely studio called Studio 71, who are going to be producing our podcast and just making sure that it's featured in all the right spots, occasionally help us getting a guest, and just in general, we want to make sure that everything's smooth going from the platform that we were on over the new platform so that when we relaunch tomorrow, but in all likelihood Monday, it'll be smooth. Also, a hello from Chilliwack from Chair Brody, who tried to text me yesterday. Hello. Alrighty. Next thing, too, you'll notice a link at the bottom of this. Connecting. I'm sorry if this video quality is crappy. I'm on hotel Wi-Fi. What are you going to do? It looks good to me, so hopefully it looks good to you. I forgot where I was. It's going to come back to me. Yes, obviously, with all of the philanthropic stuff that we've been doing with Knocking Point, we haven't much been talking about the core parts of our business before quarantine wine and wines with an impact became a thing. The core part of our business is the membership to Knocking Point, and specifically the club membership. So on June 1st, we are dropping the Founders Club with 3 new bottles of wine, and you can still sign up for that. You're going to get discounts. It's a really cool experience. You can go to knockingpoint.com, but you'll see a link down here. Really easy to sign up for the club. Unfortunately, you have to be in the United States of America. Something that we're working on as Knocking Point continues to scale. I promise we will eventually service the international marketplace. But it's a great club. It comes on the 1st of March, the 1st of June, the 1st of September, and the 1st of December. We always blow out the December version of it. It's our best club. It's the wines that, frankly, with respect to everyone else, are nearest and dearest to our hearts. And we just think it's pretty cool. The last thing is that this new component on Facebook that allows you to donate stars and to have your comment really pop up. I'm going to try to answer those a bunch today because to along with other comments, you don't have to give stars in order to get your comment answered. That would be ridiculous. Although Tanisha Wilson just gave 50 stars, which I guess is like 50 cents because it's a cent per star. But I got a bunch yesterday, and obviously, you know me, that leads to my brain thinking about philanthropy and being charitable. So we're going to figure out a charity to donate some of these stars as they come along. So Pete Leon says, hello, thank you. Since trying to reconnect, I tasted your wine in Birmingham in 2016 and met you at the Cock Inn. Oh, man, Pete Lyons. And again, thank you to Chelsea Scott for her 500 stars. The Cock Inn is a spot when we were doing our convention out in Birmingham. I think it started in 2016 and then went to 2017. It's possible that it started in 2015 and then was in 2016. We were staying at basically a castle. Like they put us up at a castle just outside of Birmingham. When I say a castle, like it had a moat. It smelled like an old castle. It was basically just us in it. And I wanted to go to the English countryside and get like a pint of Guinness. And this guy recommended this spot called the Cock Inn. The Cock Inn was a gastropub. It's definitely called the Cock Inn. Had wonderful, wonderful pints of Guinness. Thank you to Alicia Jasmine Rousseau. Had wonderful pints of Guinness, and we ended up making it our go-to. And when we came back the following year, and Ramsey was there this time. Thank you to Emily Campbell. And she asked about a Michael Bay vs. Turtles movie. Haven't heard anything. Thank you to Mary Ellen page also for the 100 stars. The next year we had Ramsey there, we had Momo. We basically brought every single person that was, thank you, Luke, that was coming to the convention. We brought them all there for this massive dinner. And Drew evidently stole the menu with everyone's autographed in it, because I went into his guest bathroom like 4 months later and the thing was framed above his toilet. So he and I still have to have some words about that, because he's allowed to have it, right? Thank you, Jennifer. He's allowed to have it, but, you know, maybe don't put it above your shitter in your guest bathroom. That to me is a little unfortunate. So from a charitable standpoint, I don't know what we're going to get involved in yet, but I mean, already on this we have, oh boy, thank you to Karen, who just sent 1,200 stars, and to Chelsea, who just sent 500. We already have over 6,000 on this. Keisha Shaw says, I met you at MCM London last year. We'll come back again next year. Anyway, we already have almost 7,000 on this. So I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I'm going to try to answer some questions. Thank you to Julie, who just sent some. Reggie says hi. So I'll try to answer some questions. Again, hey, Tracy, you don't have to, and thank you, Cheryl, you don't have to be donating stars at all, but we're going to find a charitable component for this, because this is a really cool thing. And, you know, if I get to go live every day or every other day and just entertain you guys for a little bit, in addition to the podcast, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, that seems like a good thing. Carlos says he's bragging. All his guests will see it. What am I bragging? I don't know. Question about future F Cancer campaigns. Well, obviously I was lined up to do one. I would like to do one. You know, maybe we can work in a t-shirt campaign with one of our future wines with an impact. So quarantine was something that Drew and I did, obviously, and thank you to Ashton and Mila, and it was incredibly successful. But, you know, the larger play for us is something that we're calling wines with an impact. So we're working right now on securing some ambassadors. Securing some ambassadors for the second iteration of this. Whatever it is. We don't know what charities it's going to support yet, or charity, what sort of angle it's going to take, because that will depend a lot on whomever is the quote-unquote face of the project. But it would be fun eventually to do something in the F Cancer field, and not only do a t-shirt campaign, but maybe incorporate a Wines with an Impact campaign, just because it was so much fun. And I'd kind of like to do Fallon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hope you get Facebook Live. I think Marie Eve, I think I like added you to this. I don't know if you can still do that. I don't know if you can still like invite people in. But we shall see. Thank you to Dominic Ryan. Yeah, we got almost 10,000 stars. That's really nice. Any hints on upcoming wine collaborators? This is from Mary Oakley. Or did I miss that at the very beginning? No, you didn't. You didn't miss it. Linda just sent 2,235 stars. That's very lovely of her. No, we have some good ones coming up, but with respect, we have had to push pause a little bit on collaborators. Thank you, Alyssa from the UK, and to Alexia, wherever you might be in the world. We have had to push pause, and Tracy just asked about dream wine collaborators, which I'll get into in a second. I mean, actually, you know what? I won't, because that list is long and extensive, and because of the success of Quarantine Wine, these are all people that are a little bit more approachable and gettable for us. Drew and I have always been positioned with Knocking Point as a company that could be doing a lot more, but we had to have certain people, you could call them gatekeepers, so to speak, recognize our value in the marketplace, because the way that we want to structure a wine deal is not necessarily how they want to do a wine deal, because it's not typical. So anyhow, future collaborators. I also just got a question about Cass being on Cameo, which I'll get into in a second. Future collaborators that we have to announce. We have an artist coming up in, I believe, our July 1, which we'll save the announcement on that, but it's incredibly cool artwork. And then from a collaborator standpoint, Nothing yet. Speaking of Kashi, just got back. Yeah, Cassandra's on Cameo. I'm not entirely sure what Cameo is. I've been getting a lot of offers to do things, but Knocking Point's keeping me so busy, and frankly, I just enjoy my own channels, pretty much. Elena says, "Where are you exactly? I can hear birds chirping." I'm in Laguna Beach, California, right now. I haven't been here since 2011. And stop me if I told this story yesterday, but for the first 5 seasons of Arrow, Greg Berlanti gave me the same gift certificate to, I think I spoke about this with Colin yesterday on Instagram Live. Greg Berlanti gave me the same gift certificate to the same hotel, and we had them saved up. And they've been saving up since 2016. And thank God they didn't expire, because we used a bunch today. Thank you to Hope Marie Anderson Ur for 1,200 stars. That's fantastic. Okay, this is great. She's got 250 stars from Luana because she didn't know if it was the birds chirping in the background or my soothing voice, but her 14-month-old daughter just fell asleep. Boom. You're welcome. You are welcome. Yeah, so I guess with Cameo and stuff like that, and with these virtual conventions, I'll start looking into them more. I just wanted to make sure, frankly, in the early going of what was going on here, that, oh, wow, geez, thanks, Taryn, thanks, Sarah, thanks, Emily. Your face would look epic on a wine bottle? Okay, fair enough. I wanted to make sure in the early going of this stuff that these things weren't cash grabs, if that makes sense. Because I just felt as though, especially in the early going of stuff, and you saw this when when the government put out its first aid, Jesus Christ, put out its first, I wanted to let the water settle a little bit and just see what was going on, make sure that everything was okay, and now I think that these businesses have, as opposed to pivoting and flailing a little bit, have instead really set out on a plan. So these virtual cons, or with Cameo, which frankly I don't know that much about, so maybe I shouldn't be lumping them in. I just wanted to see what they were about before I got into it. Okay. You should make a Meet Me account for your friends. It's similar to the new Facebook feature point system. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Skip. That's very nice of you. Jonathan Hammond. How can people go to Walla Walla Party as a Founders Club member? So that's from Lauren Adams. So one of the cool things about being a Founders Club member, and again, you can see the... Cheryl Hale wants me to know if I'm going to guest star on Upload. My daughter's watching Upload right now. I had to prior for the fact that I'm the spinning wheel of death. It never really sells out, but there are tiers of tickets that I just make the experience more interactive for you. So when you are a member of the Founders Club or the Tastemakers Club or the Coffee Club, you just know that you're always going to be first in line to get an opportunity to purchase those tickets. So it doesn't guarantee anything, but it gives you the best shot. We always give priority. We have like a platinum VIP ticket to the. We have a platinum VIP ticket. Oh man, Justin Foss says that his 3-year-old son Jordan has stage 4 cancer and will be F cancer ambassadors. LOL. Okay, well Justin, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a great deal. Best to your kiddo, and you can obviously be ambassadors anytime you like. Sorry about the reconnection here, and I guess what I assume is a crappy connection. So anyway, it doesn't guarantee you a certain class of ticket, but you're always going to hear about stuff first, and just in general, anything that Knocking Point does, you're going to hear about first. So we always try to prioritize our member, and you basically get effectively free shipping for life, more or less. Thank you to Michael Cooper. Just sent 3,000 stars. That's very nice. Adam Van Wert, is something about me being in a Fast and Furious movie? The answer is yes, 100%. Okay, Frank Russo wants to thank me for dinner in Palm Springs. He says he's going to buy me dinner next time. I tried to find a couple of restaurants out here in Orange County to patronize, and buy some people some dinners last night, but we couldn't come to consensus. A bunch of people said Nick's, which is right on the South Coast Highway, and I saw it last night. We ended up going to a restaurant called, although I don't think Nick's needed our help. They were slammed. We ended up going to a restaurant called Mozambique, which is right on the South Coast Highway, about, a mile or two north of where we're staying right now. And it was really lovely. It was really good. It was nice. I mean, they had the rooftop open, but they also had the parking lot open. But I guess more than anything, and this might sound a little weird, but I don't give a shit, frankly, is that we were actually able to sit down and order, and then someone went and got us food and brought it to us, which otherwise known as going to a restaurant. But it was really, really, really nice to do. Yeah, John, you feel the city. Sorry, Yeah, check out South of Nick's. It's fantastic. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Peter, for the 1,200 stars. What I eat? Oh, thank you, David. That's very nice of you. What did I eat? I've been eating a lot recently. We had some fried calamari and sweet potato fries. I had a seafood curry, which had a ton of seafood in it. You know when you get a seafood curry and it's got like 3 shrimps and like 2 scallops and like a teeny bit of crab? Not this one. This thing had a ton of food in it. It was so good. Oh yeah, you know what, guys? Don't worry. Hey, kiddo, you want to come in? You want to say hi? You know this is live on Facebook, right?
My hair's crazy.
Your hair is crazy. Get out of here. Crazy hair.
I'll get out of here.
You are.
I'll be quiet.
You'll be quiet, but people can't hear you. You're just talking. Nope, stop it. Hey, how was school?
Good.
You see your friends?
Yes.
Missed them?
Yes. You know, that was just a Zoom.
I know it was just a Zoom, but you've seen a couple of your buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone mental both times for like 9 hours and then passed out immediately after they left?
Yes.
Did both times you have like crazy raccoon eyes from jumping in the water 800 times?
Yeah, that is true.
Did you look silly?
Yeah, no.
You look like you ricked a big jointer. Okay, I gotta finish this. I love you. We're gonna go for a walk soon. Don't do that. Don't mouth. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, that was the map, Sean. Yeah. Hey, I think it was Vivi. Don't worry about donating stars or not. I'm gonna pick a charitable component to this, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to answer questions, and also because we've already done almost 34,000 stars, which I think is like $340, and that's money that we're going to donate to money that we get to.
Sun's out, buns out.
Sun's out, bums out. Yeah, total non sequitur, but I get it. I get it. Here. Anyway, yeah, I went to Mozambique. Calamari, sweet potato fries, seafood curry. I got some mac and cheese, and I got some lemonade, and then we went down to Gelato Paradiso, or actually went back, I don't know, it was a couple blocks away, and got way too much gelato. My stomach hurt for a little bit, but then I pushed through. You know? Like a warrior. All right, let's do a couple more questions here. Sorry if I'm not getting to you. Thank you if you're donating stars. We're raising some money for charity here. I don't know what that charity is yet, but I'm excited to pick it. And I'll get your help in terms of picking it. Once we get off this, I'll put a post on my Facebook page. All right. So Diana says, new summer mantra, sun's out, buns out. Yeah, well, there it is. It was delicious. It was excellent. It was very, very delicious. Don't worry if you can't send stars. It doesn't matter. Are you working on your new show already? Cheryl Hale says, after this new pandemic, you should come to Chicago. Please, from your mouth to God's ears. I can't wait to go to Wrigley Field again. All right. Cameron's running out of practical questions, so he's getting into the ridiculous. If you had the power to become a dragon, would you choose to do it or still be human? No, because if I'm a dragon, man, I feel like I'm gonna get hunted. I don't want to get hunted. I want to chill out. You know? I think I'd rather be a human and protect myself from dragons, if that makes sense. Eve says there's never enough gelato. He's correct. Satya says, you're my favorite cast choice for Marvel's Moon Knight TV series. I hope they get you. I'm locked in on TV, unfortunately. And by locked in, I mean I'm locked out. I mean I have like an exclusivity clause with Stars and Lionsgate. I don't think they're like, yeah. Go do a Marvel show. Thank you, Kimberly. It's very nice of you. Shannon Snyder says, will you do conventions again once this pandemic is over? Not only will I do them, I'm going to make it a huge priority to do them. Now, they're going to be different. You know, conventions, from my perspective, previously especially, were kind of defined by close quarters, right? By seeing people. I developed like arthritis in my hand at one point from shaking hands, especially because a lot of people, because I play a tough guy on TV, don't realize that in real life I'm a delicate flower, and they would come up and they just jam their hand in, and I developed like arthritis, like right there. So they're going to be different. And, obviously, almost every photo that you took with someone, you'd hug. So, I don't know how they look. There's going to have to be social distancing. I expect that people can take masks off for a photo, but, we're going to have to get creative, and we're going to have to stand 6 feet apart. But as soon as they're back happening, meeting fans and even doing something like this, right? By the way, thank you, Sunny. Sunny says, namaste from India. Feel free to come here and I'll be your guide. That's nice of you. We're going to have to get creative, but, one of the reasons why I love doing conventions is meeting and connecting with people and giving people something to look forward to. And I think in times like this, more than ever, people are looking for something to look forward to. Yeah, that's it. Christopher Andrew just worked out how stars work. That's nice. And Jenny George would like me to guest star on Upload. That's nice too. All right, listen. Wendy Richardson thinks a charity for autism would be great. Thank you to Mariana. Mariana. And then we had a question. So, any plans for any exclusive items for Founders Club boxes? Everything lately seems to be available to everyone to purchase separately. Okay, yeah. So that's a good point, Valerie. So, and again, you'll find a link to the Founders Club at the bottom of this page right here. You can go, you can join. We've got a new shipment coming out on June 1st. Now, to your question, that is when items that are exclusively in the Founders Club will be there. We've had to pivot just over the past 3 months because for a period of time there we couldn't make any new wine. We couldn't bottle any wine because of what was going on, and everything was so up in the air with FedEx, which has done an admirable job, hopefully and probably. I mean, I'll be really disappointed if in the aftermath of this we go back and find out they were price gouging us in particular and other people. I don't believe that that's the case. I hope it's not. Fingers crossed, because that would be shitty. But this Founders Club box are 3 wines that no one has ever seen, and no one but people in the Founders Club will see for the foreseeable future. Hope that answers your question. A charity for a new idea for charitable causes would be a nice thing. Cheryl lives 2 blocks from Wrigley. She'll see me there. Fair enough. All right. What do you think about the AEW Double or Nothing and about Cody becoming the first TNT champ? I think it's well deserved. I wish I had stuck with my online prediction in the podcast as well. I thought that maybe he'd do, from a business perspective, try to lift someone up, but he took the crown and he deserves it. He's done the work. Chelsea sent 100 stars. Thank you very much. And by the way, if you've been sending stuff and I haven't gotten to your comment, there are a lot coming in, so I apologize for that, but I really appreciate this. We're going to find a good place for these stars to go and make a small difference, but I don't know if there's any such thing as a small difference, frankly. frankly. Josen would like me to say hi to Trinidad and Tobago. I love Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for the stars, Wendy. Christabel said, what happened to your series with Alexander Ludwig? What happened is that I was supposed to fly to Georgia on Sunday, March 15th to begin training in earnest in pre-production. Training mostly in a wrestling ring because I had been training pretty hard in the gym in Los Angeles. School shut down on Friday the 13th. We went to Palm Springs on the 14th. I canceled my flight. And that's it. That's where we are. The holding pattern has not changed. I mean, Georgia's one of the first states to loosen restrictions and one of the first states to put out guidelines for safe practices for film and television. It's also one of the states where cases of COVID-19 are rising. So there's no path forward right now. That's not. I'm very hopeful for a path forward. I want to do heels really bad. I want to work with all the people that are involved in it. Concurrently, anyone that says that there's a plan right now or even a semblance of a plan is completely full of shit. Right? Not to put too fine a point on it, but they're completely full of shit. Did I ever watch Vikings prior to being cast alongside Alexander? No, I've never seen it. And I'm excited to see it because I have some buddies that have done it. I know that Adam Copeland, who is Edge in the WWE, has done it. I know Josh Donaldson has done it. I dig Alex. I dig people that tell me that this is a great series that I have to watch, so maybe that's what I should do. Hey, Colleen! Thank you very much for the 3,000 stars, and just wants to say thank you for all the work with your cancer charities. A good friend was recently diagnosed, and it doesn't look good for him. Well, look, Kathleen, best thing that you can do right now is be a good friend. Be a good friend. Thank you. I'll make sure that this goes to a good place. Paul Anthony Schmidt says, how awesome is Robbie in Upload? You know, he's really good. It looks like what he's doing is easy, and I see a lot of his personality bleed through. I'm here to tell you, it's not easy at all. What he is doing, the fact that he makes it look easy is part of what makes his performance really special. He's really, really, really good. Okay. Yeah, see, Mary Ellen says that she works for Random House, and she's working from home until Labor Day. She's not even allowed back into NYC until the fall. So again, anyone that says like August 1st, they're lying. They're full of shit, which is fine. I understand people wanting to promote stuff, but anyone that like recognizes this pattern recognizes that there is no date. There's just a sliding expectation so that people don't go crazy. Heaney, what's the first thing you want to do when this quarantine is over? Hi from Finland. All right, so you know what? See something that is like slightly politically unpopular right now, or you know might get me canceled on Twitter. For God's sakes, it's the stupidest part of my language, stupidest fucking trend that I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, the quarantine's kind of over for me. Life is not back to normal at all. California is reopening, and nothing that we're going through right now, there's no vaccines walking through the door. Nothing's coming around the corner that is going to make this instantaneously better. I am trying with my family to responsibly take the first steps in starting to live our lives again. Right now, we're at a hotel. We are wearing masks. Last night, we went to a restaurant. We wore a mask. The server wore a mask. There was social distancing in place. My wife and I got the antibodies test right when this started through the medical program that we use in California. She was offered a test as part of a routine checkup. She decided to take it. That came back on Monday. She tested negative. Everyone in our family, the entirety of the time, has been completely asymptomatic. And again, the antibody tests were negative, and her actual test for COVID-19 was negative. We have seen friends responsibly with social distancing, mostly at our house, because we have a lot of outdoor space. We spend all of our time outside. Mavi has been playing with kids in the pool. That's where we are. Life is different, but when Six Flags opens up again, I'm going to take my daughter, because they've done a lot of stuff. Like, they don't have to go through your bag. They check your temperature when you go in there. You order all your food online. There's social distancing. Again, you have to make an appointment. And it got me thinking a lot, actually, about, like, when did it become acceptable for for amusement parks and whatnot, be it Disney World, Six Flags, or whatever, to allow so many fucking people in there that you actually have to wait 3 hours in line for a ride. That's ridiculous. These places are going to continue to make money. They're just going to make less money than they made before. Yeah, okay. Rant over. So, what am I doing with quarantine? Well, last night I wanted to go to a restaurant. I wanted to sit down and order food. Is it a luxury? Of course it's a luxury. But it's something that I wanted to do. Thank you very much to, oh, hey man, Ethan. First guy that we ever met at our Knocking Point parties way back in the day. Yeah, missed that guy. Yeah, all right, a couple more questions, then I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to go for a walk. Hi, Steve. Thank you very much, Miguel. Yeah, see, Debbie Thomas Kaplan says you're doing this great and responsibly. We need to move forward. Yeah, and this is my whole thing is that I'm not here to criticize anyone's comfort level, right? Everyone's going to do their own thing, but the landscape, even if I'm speaking specifically about the United States of America right here, so apologies to my international friends, and frankly even to my Canadian friends, because I'm not as familiar with the situation up there, just because you're so inundated and insulated with the news in your community. But with yes, guys, just a couple minutes here. But
yeah,
but Carol, there's only 2 girls and neither of them are her, okay? But we'll go down later. I need you to do your schoolwork first, though.
Okay, schoolwork. In September, the landscape is going to be no different than it is right now. There's not going to be a vaccine, right? There's going to be more rapid testing. People are still going to be in masks, but just in general, the basic landscape in terms of what we know about the virus and our ability to contract it is not going to change. You're going to have to take the same steps that we're taking right now. And my point is that you're going to have to do it eventually. You're going to have to reintegrate yourself into society eventually. Otherwise, and I hate this expression because of who used it back in late March, the cure becomes worse than the disease, right? Like, I know people who haven't, relatives of mine who didn't set foot outside their house, even to go outside for the first 7.5 weeks. And then they started to worry that they were going to establish agoraphobia. And, that's not good either, right? Mental health is a real aspect of this. And every time that we go out and we do something responsibly, it eases my anxiety just a little bit. I hope that makes sense. Couple more questions. Adam, we're working on delivery to the UK. It just has to be done in a timely manner. Otherwise people just didn't like the experience. Hello to David N. Jones, like a guy. Anne-Marie says there will be a huge focus on mental health going forward. Pardon me. Especially with our first responders. But for all, really. Yeah. It's a big thing. Thank you to Dimitar. Nadir says he saw an old video where it said I was doing a book. Yeah, I got a publishing house approached me about doing a book, and I got into it and sort of started working with someone because obviously I'm not going to write the entire thing by myself, which in and of itself rubs me the wrong way because I don't want someone to ghostwrite it. But then I just decided to pull the plug because I'm not I'm not an author. And it was about fatherhood, and I was like, well, I got like one kid and she's 3, so I'm not entirely sure that I should be doing this. Right, so Kate, now this is interesting. Kate says, I haven't let my high-risk parent out of the house since March 14th. It's necessary for her health. She'll start, hang on. Okay, she'll start back to PT soon, but it wasn't worth the risk before then. Yeah, see, that's why I don't sit in judgment of anyone. I know, a lot of my friends that that have stayed really and haven't really moved their pattern of behavior since March 14th or thereabouts, or because they're in high-risk situations. We have friends that are pregnant. That'd be scary. We have friends that have new kiddos. That'd be scary too. And we have friends that have some pre-existing conditions. Some are holed up. Some are starting to reintegrate. But, to each their own. I'm just saying that, I'm just trying to look at the bigger picture of, am I eliminating all risk by staying in my house? I suppose, right? Assuming that my daughter and my wife also stay in the house at the same time. Am I eliminating that risk? Yes, for sure. Am I creating other risks? Yeah, I am. So you got to weigh both of those and see which one works for you. Okay. Oh, cool. Sydney Weld has been walking dogs for the elderly that can't get out right now. That's really cool, Sydney. Very well. All right, guys. Marcella Alcrin says, do you like working out? I like the results. I do. Once I get into a rhythm, I actually like it quite a bit. It helps me sleep better, but for now, it's not. Wendy's started to go to the store again. Good. Hello from Malta, a tiny island in the Mediterranean Sea. I know Malta. Bonjour du Quebec. Hello, Nicole. Like my French accent there. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We've got over 46,000 stars. You know what? I think someone just sent 378, Christopher, just to get it to... No, I went to 45,956. So let's get it to 46,000, or maybe even stay on until 50,000, and then I'll wrap it up, and I'll put a post up here to figure out where we're going to donate this money to charity. And I'll start coming on and doing a regular chat, and if it's specifically for charity, then I will make sure to answer all of the questions that pop up here with a little gold thing on them, or you just donate. And again, I'm really going to be looking for your feedback for how we go about donating money. Ryan Jones says, any new movies that you're working on? Well, Code 8's going to have more content to it. Heels is eventually going to have content to it when we get going. But right now, there is a ton of work to be done for Knocking Point. Oh, Kimberly, that's nice of you. Oh, we're so close. There's a ton of work to be done for Knocking Point. I try to help Drew out as much as I can, but because of the relationship that we've had over the past several years of doing the winery, where I've been filming up in Vancouver, the day-to-day stuff is something that he is really dug into and is much more versed at than I am. Oh, man. Oh, we just shot right over. Thank you, Michael Cooper. Thank you, Kelly Watts. Thank you, Tiffany Cook Byram. This is really great. This is really, really great. All right, guys. So you can go to the bottom of the page. You can sign up for the Founders Club. We're going to pick a charity to donate these nearly 53,000 stars to over the course of about 40 minutes. Brenton Dykster, I'm not involved in the Justice League reshoots. Oh, man. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Lara. Organ donation awareness is a great cause. Well, that's interesting. A bunch of people are bringing up a blog I used to write and saying I underestimate my writing talent. Blog post and a book, two different things. Although, you know what? I might have to go back and reread that blog. Well, it tends to be a little cringeworthy, frankly, at this point. Wow, stars are coming strong. This is really cool, guys. I'll come back and do this tomorrow morning, I think. And by that point, we'll have picked a charity. And, the course of this chat, we've generated nearly $550 to go along with $250 yesterday. So, it's not nothing. $800. It's pretty neat. But I'm going to wrap this up now. Okay. This has been a really fun chat. Sorry that the internet connection got a little bit choppy. And, Feeding America is a great cause, Sotia. I believe that that's one of the cause of the All-In, one of the things that was supported in the All-In Challenge, which raised $35,000 for charity. Yeah, Jordan, you could write a book called How'd You Do It? A little bit of an ostentatious title for a guy who's 39 years old, who's started one business and started one TV show. But you know what? Doesn't mean you can't do it. Doesn't mean you can't do it. All right, guys. And Amanda's watching Code 8 tonight. You can also donate stars. And again, all this money is going to go to charity if you're watching this campaign after the fact. Okay? Thank you very much, guys.